You're the trainer that wastes everyone's time? Yep. With 6 Magikarp. There's always one of these. Whoop-de-doo, I missed. Well, that's not necessary. Hey, spamming the battle. Yay! So one of the fishermen would not value you at all. Alright, so I think I have it in me to stream for another hour, and the final hour is going to be, we're going to do some stuff in Eterna City, and then we're going to introduce the concept that is exclusive to this game. Provided my Grotle can hit the broadside of a barn today. We'll see. We shall see. Yep, orange berries. Looks like 2 orange trees, a pecha tree, and a cherry tree. No, not yet. Yep. It's almost as if I'm psychic. Not really. I know I've memorized the berry patterns at this point. Okay, so We're going to start actually planting berries. Plant a Chesto. Couple of these Pecha berries. And a cherry berry. And then we're going to water. So we just come back after a little while and we'll have some berries. The music is even goofier in this game than it was in the original. Oh, yeah, that's actually a neat one to have. It's handy because what it will indicate here. It's better if I show you. So your Pokemon just kind of float around this little space, but if you click on them for a long period of time, see, Zubat has no affection, so neither does my Grotle. Well, none of them seem to like me. I see how it is. Fine. Ugh. Fine. Be that way. It's the name. So here's the name raider. Okay. Take a mental note of that. Chatot is a rare Pokemon, at least at this point in the game. But it's another flying normal type that I don't really care for. This trade's actually terrible. I mean, cool. Not that good of a move, but cool. Do you know that Recycle was a move that was teased way back in Gen 1? Because it was a TCG card. All right. Alright, hello. Oh, is this a Pokedex? You must be helping Professor Rowan. What's your name? Oh, okay. Hello, Drew. I'll be sure to remember that name. My name is Cynthia. I'm a trainer like you. I've been studying Pokemon mythology lately, just out of curiosity. Here in Eterna City, there's a statue of an ancient Pokemon. According to myth, it was an extremely powerful Pokemon. Who knows, you may encounter something like it while you're traveling with your Pokedex. Try using these, they should help you on the way. Well, remember, you can use the hidden move Cut from your Pokédex in the field. It will let you go places that were previously inaccessible to you. That's important for filling up your Pokédex, right? Then luck be with you, young trainer. No big deal. Just the one of the strongest trainers in the game walking past you. I think this is an herbalist, yeah. Herbal medicine does what it always does. It's not expensive, but it lowers the friendship rating of your Pokemon, which is something you don't really want to do. I can actually translate this. Because, pay attention to this in particular, because this is a fusion of Dialga and Palkia. Palkia, once created, brought forth the many dimensions. All alive, all things alive or not, have arrived at the same space. Such is the blessing of Palkia. The theory is that they rebuilt that and didn't really have a guy to go off of. So that's why it looks like a cross between those two, which they remembered in Infinite Fusion. And the Galactic members don't do anything for you. Alright, that was the herb shop. Okay. So, the mechanic I was talking about involves this house here. Okay, now, this is cool. Now, in the original games, the underground was not that interesting. Aside from digging up specific treasures. This game, they expanded this. Hey Drew, is this your first time here? Welcome to Sinnoh's Grand Underground. This is a network of tunnels, caves, and caverns lying beneath Sinnoh. Huh? What am I doing down in the expanse of a place That's kind of hard to answer. I mean, you can do pretty much anything you want down here. For instance, you can dig up fossils and treasure, or make your own secret base. You should talk to the Underground Man in Eterna City to learn more. Y is the way to go back to the surface. Remember Y. I have to get going now. I'll see you around. Okay, so if you do this, it'll ping and then bring up a dig spot whenever diamonds appear on the map. Now, typically I don't have a ton of patience, so what I normally do is I use the sledgehammer for most circumstances. Nothing there. Okay, now this. These are boxes of statues that you put in your secret base. Unfortunately, secret bases have been largely downgraded in this game. But what those do is, depending on their type that they indicate, they can make it so more Pokemon of said type can spawn. However, if you find a box that's green, what that will do is that will increase the shiny odds for that specific type. It's still not guaranteed, but it is neat to remember. Like, that was a Porygon Z statue, which is alright. I mean, the Pokemon I'm looking for are not normal types anyway. And what those statues do, as I mentioned, is it increases the spawn rate for specific Pokemon in the Underground. Yes, the Underground here has been expanded to have pockets of wild Pokemon that are normally not obtainable in the normal Sinnoh decks. This was their compromise, but it still bothers me that it had to come to this. Nothing there. Can't seem to find this other thing. Oh well. If you see the crack at the top of the screen, that indicates how long you can dig before the wall collapses and then you can't use it anymore. Two normal boxes, eh? Now, the treasures here, down here, can range from those treasure boxes, as you saw, with the statues. Evolutionary stones can be found down here, as can fossils and certain held items. Case in point, here's a leaf stone. Now these spheres here, they can be traded for certain items that you can only find down here. But you have to find the hikers. Also, these are kinda useless in this game, which really bothers me, because there are no move tutors. That is a red shard. Shards had a bigger purpose in Platinum with the move tutors. Unfortunately, because the move tutors do not exist. Oh yeah, that's another thing I'll point out. Occasionally, as you run along the corridors, you'll run across from Diglett and Dugtrio. What they do is they leave a little piece of treasure behind that makes it so it increases the rarity encounter rate and the shiny encounter rate. If you get 40 altogether. It's not really that hard, it's just a little time consuming. Now, what I mean by downgrading secret bases, the only purpose they serve is putting statues in them. Which is a shame because back then, you could decorate them however you wanted. If you wanted to turn them into like your own private living room or something like that, you totally could. But unfortunately, due to all the cut corners, no such thing is possible. And then if the dig spots disappear, don't sweat it. Just go into one of these big rooms. And then whenever you come out, they'll respawn for you. Now, these rooms all have different art styles. This being called Fountain Spring Cave, like here's Lickitung and Gastrodon. Wow, that's kind of crazy for this early in the game. But this is how you compromise and find Pokemon that you normally would not be able to. Or at least earlier than you would be able to. I love this concept a lot. They didn't have to do that. Also, you will find random NPCs. Just talk with them. They count towards the people that you have to meet in order to find Spiritomb. I'll be spending a lot of time down here off screen because we're also going to look for our team members while down here as well. We have 3 of the ones that we want, but there are 3 more that we obviously need to look for. 2 of them we're going to find down here. So the last bit of the stream is just going to be me digging around down here, seeing what I can find. Also, because this is Sinnoh, yes, any Sinnoh evolution is accessible. However, some Pokemon you will not be able to evolve until the post-game. That is one thing that exponentially bothers me. But oh well. So if you want a Gliscor, yeah, you're going to have to wait. Ooh, there's a fossil here. So because I'm playing Shining Pearl, I will always find the armor fossil until you get to the post-game. This is, alright. This is how you obtain the Pokemon Shieldon, the opposite of the Pokemon that Rourke used, Cranidos. Now, because I'm playing Shining Pearl, I will only find those. I will not find Skull Fossils. Making Cranidos under most circumstances unobtainable in this game. However, you know, there's ways to do it. Also, hikers do not count. But this guy, as I mentioned, if you have these spheres, look at some of the stuff you can get. The pedestals are whatever. But, like, this guy sells TMs. Thunder Wave is not a bad one. But everything else is kind of meh. But yeah, the hikers still, to this day, do not count as NPCs in the underground that you can talk to. They didn't in the original either. But at least they made it a little bit simpler this time around to get talk to 32 different people. Whereas before you would have to kind of metagame it to where you would have to talk to the same person 32 times, which is tedious and a bit boring. So along with berry farming and a couple of daily events as we move on, I will be exploring down here trying to get some treasures as well. Because this is going to be instrumental in finding moves that we want and getting Pokemon that we want. Poison box, eh? You know, there is one poison type I might take for a spin this time around. I've never done it before. And yes, it is obtainable down here. You can get it far earlier in the game than you're supposed to. That's another thing I like about this. Another thing, too, is that they give you access to yet 2 different fire types that you would not have been able to get otherwise. Those being Magmar and Houndoom. No, you don't find Houndour down here, unfortunately. I don't know why they did it that way. But another thing I want to point out is, yes, this place is expansive. And there are multiple areas within it. The most common area, which is where we are, is going to have the biggest berth. Weasels, Gastrodon, Bidoof, meh. Also, I believe these Pokemon level with you. So they'll be equal to the strongest level Pokemon in your party. And once it gets to level... Until it gets to level 70. Then they stay there. But still. A Dragon Box, eh? Too bad there's not a lot of Dragon types in the game. At least until the post-game. You're going to be hearing me say that a lot. In the post-game, you're going to be hearing me say that a lot. Because that's one thing that really bothers me about this game. Blocking certain things behind the post-game is a low blow. I'm not going to lie. What's this box? Altaria. Oh yeah, that's right. That's one of the dragon types in this game. It's just one thing that also bothers me is there's no more traps. And that was half the fun. Figuring out how to spell those. Geodude, Badoo, Zubat, Anything too interesting, Zubat. There's Houndoom. Oh yeah, sometimes you will find items or TMs in those caverns, so they're worth exploring and checking every nook and cranny possible. Pale Sphere. Those are a little rarer. Okay, let's go over here. Nothing. 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 Well. Ah, there it is. Oh yes, this is also another good way to farm heart scales. Heart scales have a chance of appearing down here. There's another way to do it, but this is probably one of the more consistent ways to find them. For things, eh? Gotta be careful. Box here. Dark box. Not bad. Dark's one of my favorite types. Ah, speaking of heart scales. Unfortunately, move relearning is not free in this game. They would not permanently do that until Gen 8 proper. It's a fighting box. Oh yeah, that last box being Weavile. Dual types actually do come into play. So, Medicham here is also a dual type. So, depending on how many statues you put in your secret base after you make one, will determine what type of Pokemon spawns more often. And some of the hikers will just heal you. Some of them trade stuff, some of them heal. Now, to my knowledge, the hikers do not move. So, if you remember where they are, like, you can remember where this one hiker is that'll help you out. Here's a Prism Spear. I think the resting hikers move, but the treasure traders do not. So it's good to make a note of where the trading hikers are. Eh. Spheres are alright, but, you know, they're good for one reason alone. Also, I do not think you can bury spheres in this game. They're just put in, like, their own compartment or something like that. And that's another thing I do appreciate about this remake, is that there's no item limit. You can just dig until your heart's content. You would have to send up your items that you dig up that are not spheres, essentially. And you had only so much room. Okay, I found all I could in this vein. Listen, man, I'm talking like I'm playing Minecraft. Spacious cave. More water and electric types. Machop. No. There is a specific type of cave that I am looking for. It's one with full of crystals. Now, typically, those are a bit rarer in this part of the underground, but can still happen. That's all I got out of that, but hey. And that's going to be all the time that we have. So until next time, Ryo Nakage 33 signing off.